So welcome to Two Devs on the Couch, Rash,
I'm Björn.
and today we're going to be talking about
Girlfriend
girlfriend.
2016.
My
So who
girlfriend's
won? Did you
name
win?
is Arash Samander.
Yeah.
She's
And
better than
Björn?
us.
No. Who won? I was. I think I was runner up. No.
That's why I had to shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You were in the category of the egg category.
Most hairy body. Yeah.
No, this is games
Ni-
first. Games first. 2016. Oh shit! And this is punching the mic. Not game two devs on the couch.
So basically, last Tuesday, fortunately and unfortunately, we weren't on the stream because we were attending slash covering. We didn't stream from there, but we were attending a gaming conference called Game First. I believe this is its fourth year. It used to be, when it first came out, it was called Free Your Play, and then that was kind of weird, and they changed after. I believe it's the first year. I mean, this is the fourth year, and it's always hosted by Supercell. If you don't know who Supercell is, they made Clash of Clans and Heyday and the current
Clash Royale.
Clash Royale, which and that's an killers.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll come to
Murderers.
that.
We'll talk about murderers and killers
Yeah.
later.
So stay on.
Stay on. That's the exciting part.
Yeah, the serial killers and the murderers. That's gonna come about halfway in, I think.
Yeah. So
Arhas's voice keeps.
hello.
Let's see. It might be the filter. Sorry for asking. Disable that. Close. There we go. Maybe it's better now.
How is it? I will keep talking. So anyway, Games First is a convention. Well, not convention. It is a what would you call it? It's a conference.
It's a conference for game developers.
Exactly. Ran by Supercell, Clash of Clans, those guys. And what it is it's just celebrating games. One, because what was happening is that there's a lot of conferences or events or whatever you want to call them that they're there for celebrating, but what happens is it's actually a big marketing thing. For example, if you go to GDC, yes, it's a big games thing and there's really cool stuff there, but at the same time, the companies are there pushing products in your face. Which is cool as well because you get to see new stuff. But
and get free products.
exactly. But in Games First, it's more about celebrating games, talking about games, and there shouldn't be any like trying to market. There are a little bit of marketing in the form of pitching competitions, but outside of that, it's just kind of just being. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
But for example, when they had their starting speech, they even joked about like that if you have if you're like everybody raise your hand who works in advertising or marketing, and then he's like, okay, you all get out of here now. Like, it's truly for just developers and people who develop games. It's not for you to recruit or
and there aren't any, you could say, consumers. It's only developers only. And this year there was 600, and it's by invite only. So when you hear about it, you have to kind of just fill out a small form, and then if you get accepted, you get an email before the conference comes that you can go. And usually they give away something. Last year we got some cool shoes. This year we got these t-shirts. I don't know how I feel about the t-shirts. They're kind of interesting, but it was kind of we looked like a sea of Smurfs.
Yeah, so everybody got these. So there were 600 people all wearing the same T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then, with their name on their chests. And then, you can imagine the women. It's like, okay, what's your name? Okay.
Yeah, so we're all staring at everybody's chest, trying to figure out what.
Or trying not to.
Or trying not to. So it's kind of awkward, like, hello. But anyway, so.
What's your name?
So what we.
Sup, Showcase. Welcome.
So what we're going to talk about today is kind of, because we couldn't stream there. I was on Twitter, by the way, follow us on Twitter if you aren't following us. I try my best not to spam on there. I just post interesting articles, and Björn does, of course, as well.
And some additional spam. No, wait, that's
Yes.
what we didn't do. Oh,
Yes.
shit.
But we try to keep you updated on things. And during the event, I was tweeting as people were saying different, interesting, cool, kind of quoting them, semi-quoting everybody.
Yeah. So we were thinking we would go through we would go through their program and just shortly go through what they talked about. So we printed out their program because we have a memory of a seal or a small mouse. So.
So, first thing.
Sup, Raffle King, welcome. So, what would you have
So
first?
doors open.
Yeah, they did open.
Yes.
And then we
And
had
then they
some...
closed. And then we had morning coffee.
Yeah, the coffee was good.
Yeah.
And you had also a small sandwich with turkey.
Yeah.
It was gluten-free and everything free, lactose-free,
yeah.
nutrition-free.
There was also some mango smoothies.
Yes, mango smoothies. I was almost said lassi, but it wasn't lassi.
Yeah.
Lassi is more awesome.
Yeah. Has milk in it, I think.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be lactose free.
Yeah.
So anyway, then they had the welcoming words, which were just welcome.
Just welcome.
So
it's
now-
Finland. We have very few words.
Yes.
So if you ever
And then
visit,
everybody went,
yeah, one clap.
and then we moved forward. So, by the way, if you guys ever give a presentation in Finland, don't feel bad if they're not clapping. It's not like the American way, like, oh, everybody goes crazy for everything. It's
Yeah.
more of very subdued. So if you get even a mild clap out of a Finn or a group of Finnish people, that's a big deal. That's an American awesome.
You will only get a big clap if a girl says that she will join them in the sauna.
Yeah, we were at a Unity presentation and there wasn't that many clapping, but as soon as the girl said, "I'll see you all in the sauna," everybody went crazy.
Yeah. You just have to have the right thing.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So the next and first speaker we had was Tomo Motoyoshi.
Motoyoshi-san.
Yes. And he was the head of Western marketing of a company called Mixi, Mixi. And they were talking about a game called Monster Strike. So,
So I don't know if you know Monster Strike. It's hugely popular in Japan and less popular outside of Japan.
yeah.
Like, I think it's still probably successful, but everybody knows it in Japan. It's like Clash of Clans or whatever big.
Yeah.
Or, and here or in the US, it's not so known.
Yeah. And actually, it would be good if I have my quotes up too, because he said some really nice things, and it would be nice actually to
Yeah, we can read them.
read some of them.
Basically, what he was talking about, of course, he talked about the game, and they had 3 principles. I don't know if you tweeted that.
I will.
One was
I did.
what they tried to do. Like, I don't remember all of them, but the big one was
Face-to-face communication.
face-to-face communication. So they actually removed multiplayer from their game.
Which was very big deal, because imagine that if you have it's like, imagine if you take Battlefield or what's the other one, Call of Duty, or any of these games, and the company like Activision, I guess, or whatever, goes and suddenly tells you, by the way, there's no more online multiplayer. You can only play when you're in the same room as other people. Like, how would that make you feel? So they basically made a very kind of dramatic choice by doing something like that. So here I can, excuse me.
Yeah, and
Okay,
just shortly, I can ask in Raffle Corgis answers right. Like 2devs on a couch for you guys who are new. We pick a topic, we discuss it. It can be something in the game industry. Today we're covering Games First 2016 by Supercell. And then after that we will play some games and we will analyze them. So we'll go through and we'll like, either it might be your guys' games or we'll pick like someone else's game, like something bigger, like we did Enter the Gungeon. And we have a set of criteria which we use to break down the game.
Yeah. So the three things were called, or what he said were accessibility, surprise, and face-to-face communication. And those were kind of the, I wouldn't say mission, but the three main things that the company should always follow. So if I remember correctly in the talks, the biggest thing was this face-to-face communication. Yeah. And their president or CEO or some very big individual, I forgot their name, I apologize, was saying that he was talking about them, saying that he was at a dinner party, and at the party, everybody had their kind of phones out, and they were all like,
yes,
looking like this. Oh, that's great. But no one really looked up or interacted with each other. So what they wanted to do was they wanted to create games that kind of had people share together like a game in the same space versus just, oh, I'm going to play online against all my friends.
Sorry, did you say something?
Exactly.
What? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, and they have
so
huge
you agree
success.
to that?
No.
Okay.
They have huge success because a lot of word of mouth. Like we don't know exactly what the mechanics are, but they try to push that you have to play. So that people play in the office, people play when they're on the dinner, and that makes them also talk and look at each other, and it's become and find new friends.
Yeah. I said, but Björn disagrees with me. But I said, in a sense, it's creating a local multiplayer for mobile games. But you disagree.
No, I just think that it most probably encompasses more than just what people traditionally think as local multiplayer. That it can also connect in other ways than just, like, I'm thinking more like it can be anything that you share. Like, if I know that a treasure is hidden somewhere and you don't, I can share that to you. Like, hey, go to that map, dig in that spot,
yeah,
and then you'll find it. And I think that's also kind of could be within the face-to-face because it forces me to, and then you can tell me your secret hiding stashes in the game, and it has nothing to do with local multiplayer. But I don't know. That's my interpretation.
All right.
But he talked also a large part of about the difference between like how to succeed in Japan as a Western company.
Yeah. So I exactly what Björn said. I tweeted it out. If you guys want to follow along, go on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, Game Dev Company, and go downwards, and you'll see the same quotes we're also talking about there. But he said Japanese audiences like complex art and UI compared to Western audiences. And the main difference was kind of that. Well, that's basically it. If you take, for example, Candy Crush, think about that UI. And let me take one step back, just in case you don't know. It's okay if you don't. UI means user interface. That's basically all the little things that you tap and interact with, menus, buttons, these type of things. So Candy Crush is very kind of simple, big, bubbly buttons that are moving and they're really juicy and bouncing around. And then, well, you can talk about what he said about the Japanese UIs.
Well, it was just that they're usually more elaborate. They can be more complex. Like people are more patient with the, you know, they like Western usually tend to want very simple, and they want more complex. Like they don't mind if a game's a bit more difficult. Basically, they're more like a mid-core audience.
They don't mind.
If you use that terminology, like they don't mind a bit more complex game.
And the games that we have, let's say again, Candy Crush, it's a very simple game. You know, swipe and that's it, and you're just match 3. They're doing like, it's okay for them to play JRPGs on their mobile devices and have all these numbers and all the, you don't even know what you're looking at times from a Western perspective.
So, hi Kenichi, by the way, welcome. And Kenichi's saying that he plays Uncharted with his dad, and they do the same thing that they share about, you know, the locations, which I mentioned. And exactly. I think that could be also a part of multiplayer. And yeah, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Of course, he probably meant what John's referring to, that it's actually synchronous. But I do think that because they actually come from Mixi comes from it's a social platform, a bit like Facebook in Japan.
Oh yeah, they said that.
So I think they don't mind. They just want to connect people. Yeah. So whatever things. Oh. And the dogs.
The dog disagrees with you.
Yeah. And we'll answer you guys' questions. We'll like go through this program of games first, so it's not girlfriend. And we'll go through the questions as in certain like
in time. So don't, if you ask a question and we don't answer it immediately, please remember, and not just today, but always. We try our best to then come back and answer it later. If you think that we have missed your question, you can of course repost the question. But sometimes we're just in the flow of discussing the thing. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Was there anything else? Like basically, he said that if you want to have success in Japanese market, make it more complex. That like it's okay to be a bit more complex. The gameplay can be the same, but the UI can be more complex, and the art can be more elaborate. And I think he used, what was the word? He didn't say fancy, but like intricate or something. Like basically, if you watch JRPG, like having 600 characters on top of each other, and you know, pretty boy guy in the background and the huge boob woman in the foreground, and whatever they have.
By the way, just so we clarify again, if you don't know, that's okay. That JRPG means Japanese role-playing game. That's all it means.
What? No, it doesn't. No, I was kidding.
just role playing. Johnny runs past
Grill.
Yeah, Gary.
Joe punches. No.
He was also talking about the characters. For example, that Marvel and Disney, as perceived in here, is more like punching and kicking and action and explosions, and Marvel and Disney in Japan is more big, fluffy, cute characters. So that's also a very big difference.
Like plushies and stuff like that.
So the benefit or the reason that we're telling you all of this is that if you guys want to make a game and you want to make it for a Japanese audience versus a Western audience, these are things you should take into account.
Yeah. And of course, always try to take in consideration different cultures, and don't assume. It's always good to ask. Like if you know a real Japanese person, they can give you valuable feedback.
Yeah, definitely. Then there were just some other design things. For example, fun is fun to all people. There's no need for you to change the core of your game. You could take like, when we mean core, it's basically the main action or the actions that the character is doing. So let's say you have a fishing game. And in your fishing game, it could stay the actions, all of the things that the player can do will be the exact same. But what happens is that in like Western countries, it'll be big, like I said earlier, simple UI and simple graphics, and there'll still be. When I mean simple, I don't mean like it's just blocks, but I mean that it's easier. There isn't as super details. And then you could take that fishing game, the same exact game, and you could say you're reskinning it. And then when you have it in Japan, it would be super, intricate details, in worlds and things like that. So, but you should keep in mind there are certain mechanics that can't come over. For example, as we said earlier, in Japan they might be more interested in JRPGs, whereas in the West it would be more just simplified games. So don't think that, I'm just going to take my game, reskin it, send it to Japan, and everybody's going to go crazy. It's not just the UI.
Yeah. But I think that's he of course discussed a lot of things, but it's hard for us to cover all of the topics. But that was a very interesting talk, and it kind of even inspired that is seeing from kind of a Japanese person's point of view. The Japanese market was very, very interesting because I have no clue what their gaming market is. Yeah. I do know their culture. I watch a lot of anime myself, but of course not. I don't know their gaming culture. Yeah. That's very different. And that was very interesting.
If you're interested in doing that, you should also find someone locally there that you can trust and work with, because they have a deep understanding. It's not just, I went to Japan for a week, or I made my game. Let's go 3 months to Japan.
I watch all animes. I know everything.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
No, and actually, yeah, exactly. Should we move on to the next?
Are there any questions in relation to this?
Oh, hi, Clemens Ross. There's one question. What does this shirt mean? It means that we both won Girlfriend Award of 2016.
16-year-old.
Oh,
I don't like that.
No, that gets too perverted.
I'm going to end up in jail.
Who's your waifu? Actually, if you read up, Chia Chia is my waifu. Cha Chia.
Yes.
His waifu is not here.
Yes. Yes, she is actually.
She is? She's behind the sofa.
Where is she?
She's here. Wait, let me get the sofa.
I don't know, Habibi.
Anyway, but yeah, this is Games First. It's an event held by Supercell. Supercell is the company that makes Clash of Clans, Battle Royale, Heyday.
Just use those three. They have other ones, but we'll talk about killers later.
Yeah.
But there was no other questions for...
Who doesn't like jail? I don't know. Someone's watching another stream.
So...
Speck of dust. Yeah, this one.
This one?
That's your wife.
This
waifu.
Okay.
No, here's his waifu. There you go.
Yes.
Waifu.
By the way, there's a company called...
Frozen Bite.
Frozen Bite. This is not it. This is not a frozen bite.
It kind of is.
Yeah, it is. But this is one of their games. It's a mobile game that they had worked on. I forgot what the name of it, but they gave out these things when we visited their studio long ago.
Yeah, and we've kept on to it. Kenichi is asking if you remember his plane.
Yes, I remember the plane from last night.
He's hand painting it right now.
Oh, cool. You're texturing it.
Shamelessadvertisement.com.
Cool.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Right. So let's move on to the next person. So the next guy was Joe Rayburn from Space Ape.
Space Ape.
Live ops without developers equals success. That was the title of his...
What was their game, by the way? Did you...
They had...
What was the name?
They had several games. What was that thing called? Was it Dragon something? I forgot the name of their game. I apologize.
It was bad, man.
I forgot. Hold on.
Kappa, rest in peace. Yeah. You
anyway,
them out.
Yeah. But anyway, just look up Space Ape and you'll find out what their game was. I forgot what it was, but it reminded me. It looked like a Clash of Clans type of game. So if you play Clash of Clans, it's basically it's like a tower defense type of game.
Yeah, and well, they talked about basically what they had done was they used to build this game with a huge team, and then of course, as every game, at some point its popularity starts to sink, and going downwards, and there's not many active players anymore. And they discussed to kind of how to not have to kill the game, because of course a company, you can't afford to have 30, 20 people working on a game if it's not bringing enough money. And what they discussed was like ways of building content management systems and stuff like that, so you could actually run the game with just 4 people. And they've done that, and then actually the money that comes in, that actually, even if they have less players and it's not their most popular game, how much money they were bringing in per person in that team. There were only 4 people working on it. Was on better than their most popular game.
Yeah,
I think they said that. Yeah. So and then that way you can let the game, what they call, die gracefully. A bit like Diablo 2, where you have very long support.
Yeah.
So people who really like that game still can play it, and they still make new content for it, but it's just done by a couple of people.
You might have heard, or if you haven't heard of this, you're going to hear about a thing called a long tail. And you want a product to have a long tail, and like on a mouse. But basically, that's talking about if you're looking on a graph, when your game is released, over time it's slowly going to go down as it's going to the right and create a very long tail. So what you don't want is just it to drop down and just die out. So you want to get your money's worth and hopefully some more. But what happens is, as Björn said, that they can't support having a whole team and paying a whole mess of people and also be able to afford keeping things running. So they have this thing, basically like live operations, that they hand a game over to a small group, and that small group tries to keep the game running and fresh enough so that the players that are there still can enjoy the game a lot longer.
And they do it fully without any programmers. So they've developed a system where the designers, Subflow Cobble, welcome. The designers can. I think they had a project manager, a designer,
Well, they wore many hats.
Yeah, but the main titles, they had community manager and something else. And basically they had no programmers, and they just had flexible enough system that they could create this new content and reuse art, so they could create new. So it was a product manager, designer, community live ops manager, and a QA. So QA was the one that we missed. Yeah.
And by the way, in case you don't know, that's okay. QA means quality assurance.
Oh, and Flo Cobble is asking, Arash, where is your Bart?
My Bart? Bart Simpson?
No, he means beard probably.
My beard is, what happens is that Björn and I are like yin and yang, and what happens is that as his yin grows bigger, my yang has to get shorter. But, quality assurance, by the way, is basically the team of people that test the game to make sure there aren't bugs, it's functioning properly, these type of things, in a simplified way. So basically, as Björn said, they created a system whereby they could add new things and mix and match different art assets and kind of mechanics through another interface, so that they could create new content, even though it wasn't the exact same, even though it had already been used, because they mixed it up, it looked and felt different. So they were able to extend the life of the game.
So, I don't know, was there anything else we need to say, or should we...
I think, I don't think so, but one thing I would say, why is this very useful for you, or what you would learn from this, is that when you build your own games, try to think, we've said this in the past, that anytime you create something in your game, try to be able to use it in 4 different ways, but also try to think how can you mix and match things together to create new things. So instead of coding a brand new mechanic, is there a way you can take 2 mechanics that have already been coded and somehow make them work together to create a new experience, even though they're the same thing? Do you want to say anything? Or
No.
Okay.
Jazz is commenting about me removing my Bart.
Ah, you're the Bart.
Yeah. No, I will never get rid of Bart. He's my best friend.
Yes.
I eat him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So speaking of lunch, the next thing was lunch.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Sam.
sorry, it wasn't lunch. Oh my God.
Let's
Sorry.
skip the biggest company.
Yeah. So the next speaker was Sam Lake. Well, that's his. Do you know his Finnish name off the top of your head?
Sam Lake, something Lake. No.
Yes.
Samijärvi?
Maybe that's right.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know who Sam Lake is, you probably know what Sam Lake looks like if you've ever played a game called Max Payne, because he played Max Payne in Max Payne. So all of the 3D model and the textures and everything, his character, that's all based off. I mean, that's literally him. He plays that character. And basically, and Sam Lake, I believe, is the creative director of a company called Remedy. And Remedy is not the oldest, but one of the oldest AAA gaming
I have no
companies.
idea what's going on in chat.
AAA gaming
Like German
companies.
all over the place. His boss inserted something into me, and players are events, and again, I don't know, mistake.
Okay. What is
Flow
going-
Couple, if you just wait a minute, we'll come to the questions in a moment. It's a bit... Yeah, anyway, sorry.
Okay. So, as we said earlier, if you...
Yeah, they modeled Max Payne after
Yeah.
Sam Lake.
They-
You probably said that.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Remedy has made games, Max Payne. If you haven't played it, you should. They basically created Bullet Time. If you haven't, basically slow motion with bullets. You can thank Remedy for that. They also created, help me here. What's the next one? With Alan Wake.
Yep.
They created Alan Wake. And they've just released a game called Quantum Break. And that's not supposed to rhyme, but
That's their own fault.
That was a
Don't blame
mistake.
us.
so what Sam talked about, he basically discussed the making. It was like a very short making of Quantum Break. And all of the kind of
Well, he discussed
trials
how
and tribulations.
what goes into making a AAA game.
Exactly.
Especially with with Hollywood class actors, where
Well,
you
you
know
can
what
just-
are the challenges having someone who's that busy? Like they're filming movies and TV series all the time, so they'll have like a small here I have 1 week, and the next week I have is 6 years in the future, and then of course you have to make a game throughout that.
Yeah, so going right off of that, one of the things that he said was that even one unknown thing is a risk. When you're working with such a large team, such a large... They basically worked with Microsoft on this. And if you don't know how Quantum Break works, is that it's split. Actually, there's kind of 2 different things that are happening. There's and by the way, just think it's like an action adventure time manipulation game with a live TV show mixed with it. So there's live TV, or like a TV show, a TV series with an action time manipulation game. That's basically what
I can right now imagine it in my brain.
Yeah, it's like what's the
Imagine popcorn mixed with cheese and some fudge on it, and then you mix it and you add it on top of the pizza you're eating right now.
Yes. But you need to manipulate time, so then you need to throw it back up.
Oh, that already happened.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you talking about?
So that was the thing that
we're in a time loop.
He was saying that it's extremely important that every decision you make in that type of situation is a risk. So you have to take almost everything into account. So when you're working on these type of games, these big AAA games, this is very important.
Yeah. Subcom, we'll play your game actually in about half an hour. But and then he's suggesting you should steal my beard while I sleep. Luckily, I can read all the messages and he can.
Hello!
And yeah, their PC port is a bit buggy. Actually, I talked to one of the people who are developing it right now, and he's even saying that, you know, you shouldn't run it on the ultra setting because most games, even if you have a top-end computer, it won't run on ultra.
If you're coming back in 2 hours, you might miss us playing your game.
Exactly.
But it will be on YouTube.
Later next week.
Yes.
Or you can just watch it here below when we go offline.
Yeah. Sorry that you're not here because we'll be talking about your game, dude.
But yeah, the funny thing, I don't know if you mentioned, he had a cool story, and go to our Twitter to check out the picture. Was one cool story he was talking about was the lamp. I don't think you covered it.
Yeah.
So basically what they did was like they had made this scene because they had to film the TV show before they actually made all stuff ready. So they had made this scene, and in gaming you do something called white boxing. So this is most developers know what this is, but if you don't, it's basically you take and let's say this sofa. Instead of making this sofa very detailed, they'll just rough it out with white boxes to just get the general idea across. So they had made this lamp in the scene that was just clearly a white box lamp. It was just so that represent that there's going to be a lamp here.
Literally, it's a rectangle.
Yeah, and then what they had done is like they had the people like who wanted, because they were doing this in California, I think they were filming these live action scenes, and they had just sent these screens and these renderings out of the scenes, and they didn't understand that it was a white box lamp. They were just like, oh, this is a groovy lamp. It looks a bit weird. And then they had made a lamp that just looks like that.
Exactly.
And then that was in the scene, and they filmed it, and now it's in the game.
Yeah.
So if you catch that scene, it's awesome. You can also, we have a picture of it in our Twitter if you're interested.
I think I actually have a video.
Oh.
Maybe. So go there, check it out.
If you're interested. But I think that was a cool story. And he also showed some weird bugs in the game, which were really cool, I think. Showing that how much, how buggy even a AAA game still is and was before.
So he also said things like, it's hard to know if something is fun till it's on the screen, iterated on, and it serves a purpose. So sometimes that's something to think about, that when you create something like a mechanic in your game, it might not feel fun immediately. It's something that requires iteration, and you might not know. I always keep bringing up the post-mortem. It's probably you're tired of hearing that if I haven't used it already. But in Mark of the Ninja, they didn't know that it wasn't fun till like 3 months before they were going to release the game. And it was just more about tweaking and balancing, and then it became fun.
Another game example where they did an iteration was Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't Grand Theft Auto in the beginning. It was a game where you drove cars and you were supposed to obey the law. And the cops actually were just normal, and everything was just normal. And then someone just put in code where the cops went crazy and started chasing you, and everything just, went crazy. And that's when they found the fun. And then they're like, hey, this is the game we should make, not this other thing that's a piece of crap. So the original idea might be good, but it might be hard to execute. So if you find something that works in practice in your game, you should pursue it if it's really fun.
And it's interesting that you speak about ideas, because his very next quote, by the way, these aren't
He's quoting me.
Yes.
No, wait.
I tried to quickly tweet, and I made certain quotes for people, so don't take it exactly word for word, but the idea
You're
is
paraphrasing.
I paraphrased. I parachuted.
Parachute.
Yes, his
Parachute.
words. He said, ideas seem small on paper, then balloon. You need, then balloon, they get bigger.
Oh, you said it in a way where I'm just like, ideas seem small on the paper, and then a balloon comes in. What? Where's this balloon
The
come?
idea balloons.
Yeah.
And you need to focus, how does this idea make the whole better? So this is a thing that I explain a lot to my students when we're talking about game design. And it's not just students, but to people that might not understand what a game designer does. So they might just think that a game designer is just an idea guy. So they're like, yeah, you're the idea guy. I want to be the idea guy. I come up with the ideas, and then other people have to do the work. That's not what it is. So
No, that's what the programmer does.
yeah. So, but in reality, as I've said before, a designer's job is to kind of communicate. They're like the glue between all the parts, and they have to communicate the vision and keep the system in their mind on how everything works, so that when things change, they know what is getting affected. So,
It's a bit like a game architect, you can even say.
yeah, you could say, yeah.
Like an architect, you still have other people, like the lead, lead programmer would then come, and he might be in the construction, he might be the foreman of all the workers, and then he would be asking, oh, here in your plan you have the pipe here, it's gonna go up here in the wall, and and then the architect like, yeah, but it won't fit here, and there's a hole in the ground, and it's like, oh, we will have to change, but then we also have to change all these other things in the house because now the pipe moved.
Exactly.
So
Bad
example. You're all construction workers, right? Trying to get into
Imagine you
game
don't
design.
have arms or legs, and I push you down a hill, and you're covered in honey, and now the ants attack you. That is game design. Anyway,
Execute, people! We want to see this game now! Start programming!
so that's the basic thing. So you might have tons of ideas, but
Raffle King, you start programming. Clement Ross, you do the art, and Corgi, you do the art too.
yeah.
You have all the things you need, just start executing.
So anyway, so that's the thing about ideas. So how together do those ideas, how do they work well together before just implementing every idea? But continuing on the idea, he says that sometimes ideas you killed keep coming back, and those can carry over to other projects and find a better home. So, well, Björn and I like to joke sometimes and say like, oh, that's great idea, I love it, let's put it in the backlog. And backlog means a list somewhere that we put things so that we don't forget them, and in reality we forget them. It basically becomes a graveyard. But what's nice is that if you document these ideas that you have, think like artists might make a sketchbook. Designers also have little sketchbooks where they draw pictures of like how a mechanic might be, or a little doodle of how some action would happen, or even art. And then when they need inspiration, they can go back and be like, oh, I remember that. That would be excellent for this other game. So.
Gia is talking about French greeting people and...
French kissing people?
No, French greeting. Greeting.
I don't
and
know what
metal
French
wire,
greeting is.
Barts and metal wire.
I don't know what French greeting is.
You don't want to know. It involves metal wire and Bart.
But we have, we have some underage children watching too. So be careful.
Yeah,
Habibis.
French greeting.
Don't do French
the French
greeting.
greet. Let's do a French greeting. Yeah?
Very
Hello, I am French.
Oui, monsieur.
We also. Oui. I almost said si, and then he would execute
Now
me.
you're Spanish.
Spanish Inquisition here.
Yes. Or Italian. What was Italian?
I don't know.
Ciao. Huh?
Ciao. That's it. We are not at all stereotyping the whole world.
Sorry that we offended everybody. If you're Italian, French, or Spanish.
We offend everybody.
Or
even
Mexicans.
ourselves. We should do a thing where we
Where
go...
we offend everyone?
Everybody. We go through the whole list
of every person, so we offend everyone equally, and then we can move forward.
Exactly.
So, let's go forward because he actually had a lot of good info. Definitely go to our Twitter, Game Dev Company, and a lot of those quotes are there. You just have to go down. It all happened around the 10th of May. So just get around the 10th and you'll see all these GF15. You can also search for the hashtag GF16. And most of them will be this.
Exactly. EOO, equal opportunity offending. Exactly.
Yes, equal opportunity offenders. That's what we are.
That sounds like some kind of child molesting.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's not go there. Anyway.
You are in jail for EOO.
Then we had lunch.
Yes.
And I have no idea lunch? What we ate. What did we eat?
It was some Chinese.
It was that thing.
Yeah. It was okay, but
I make better Chinese.
Yeah.
Anyway, even my special sauce with soda in it. No, I was kidding. That was terrible. Anyway, so next we had Jonathan Dower from Supercell. And he talked about quality is worth killing for.
And he was
from
lead artist.
Yeah, I'm from New Zealand.
He was the lead artist from New Zealand.
So he used to be a sheep herder.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, but I'm cool. It's not. I'm not pulling this out of my ass.
But was he actually a sheep herder, or was he just joking? I can't.
I'm finished. I take everything literally. Yeah. If he says he's a sheep herder, he was a sheep herder, and then he moved to Finland and became a game developer. So, if he was a sheep herder and he's able to do it, imagine what you can do.
Oh, he actually says there is New Zealand. It is not part of Australia. We have our own flag even, though they are the same colors.
So there's just one small dot there. That's anyway.
So basically what he was talking about was that a lot of people that know about Supercell, actually let's talk this way. Supercell is a huge, not in size company, I mean employee wise when you compare it to other companies, but the money that they make is very big. It's very. I think I just read an article today that said that Supercell paying their taxes, unlike a lot of other big companies who tried to get out of paying taxes, you know who you are. They pay their taxes and they increase the Finnish something tax thing by a fifth. Like overall, all of the money that comes in through taxes in Finland, it was increased by 1/5 just by Supercell paying its rightful taxes, that's huge. So we're talking about in the billions. I believe they're worth 50 billion.
Mr. Kniche needs to remake all his hand-painted textures. He fucked it up.
Well, that's what happens, man.
You didn't listen to Arash. You should have foot painted them with finger paint.
Yeah. Don't do hand paint, foot painting.
Foot painting is the next big thing.
Yeah. So, anyway, so it's a big company, and a lot of companies try to emulate the success of Supercell without really understanding how Supercell works. And I believe the name derives from they have small teams, small 15 to 20 maybe, something like this, that kind of act as individual, like small companies within the company. And they make the decisions for 99% of the time. The CEO of the company really only comes in at the very end to kind of help with the decisions. But at the end of the day, for killing a project, it's up to the team to do the killing. So what he was talking about was people don't really know how many projects actually Supercell has killed before they release these successful games. Everybody's just seeing the successful games and they're like, oh yeah, everything they do is successful and just copy what they're doing and we'll be successful too. But it's not that way. They killed a lot of games, they learned from those games, and then they applied them to their future games till they're able to create something successful.
So their company structure, how he, for example, pictured it, is like, the classical thing is that there's one man at the top, and then it splits, and then there's two men, and then the teams are underneath that. Like it's like a triangle like this. So what they did was the other way around. So on the top are the teams, and the CEO is on the bottom. So and then they showed this picture where
It's on Twitter.
yeah. So basically, what happens is like the process of the game is that they will make a first playable first. Like actually, the team comes up with the idea they want to work. Then they make it playable. They share it with the office. I think they share every Friday with the office everything they're doing, like holding presentations, and then they when they
share
they
the
get,
numbers in the email.
but that's a different. That's daily.
The presentations was
presentation every Friday where they share every team.
Okay.
I think I said that.
Right.
But anyway,
I don't
so
remember that.
then they did the first playable. Everybody liked in the office. Then they made the second playable, and after that, they decided that this is good enough that they would try it out on a real market, and so they made a bit more polished second, and then they had certain goals they had to reach that the team themselves set up, like saying we need to at least get this much or we'll kill the project, and then here it's okay but we're not super happy, and then here it's like awesome, we'll continue. And they, for example, in this game example he was showing, they reached the bit above the bare minimum, so they got over the minimum, but the team didn't feel like they wanted to continue, because if they had continued they would have to devote 2 to 3 years of their life on it, and that's a long time. They didn't feel it, and then they decided they went
to the sauna.
They went to the sauna and made the decision. But then they went to the CEO and they just informed him that these are numbers, we don't feel confident that this will be a good thing, so let's kill the project, and then they murdered it.
And the interesting thing, one thing that he said was that it was basically, it was like failing sucks. Yeah, failing sucks. Learning is cool. And the thing from there is that just because they killed the project doesn't mean that there wasn't good things that they learned from that they could share with the other teams and carry on to other projects they worked on. And that's the whole point about getting better over time. A lot of what happens in I would say probably more in the majority case is that you have you have complete failure. It just never gets released or made, or just bombs immediately, doesn't get anywhere. But then you have okay, and then you have super successful, and you don't know why your game is successful. Therefore, it's very hard to reproduce another game right after it, because you don't know what were the variables that made that game successful. But Supercell, basically by learning through failing and carrying over that learning and sharing it with each other within the company, they're able to kind of, I don't want to say come up with a formula, but they learn from their mistakes, they share them with each other, and they try to carry over the good pieces. Kind of keep the good and drop the bad.
Like some of the features they made in this game example, he said, are now in use in Battle Royale.
Exactly.
Are one of the most important things in there.
Yeah, and then also...
For multiplayer, I think.
Yeah, and also the other thing was they verify, metrics are very important for them, and they have a lot of data that they've collected over the years from all of the games they created, failed or successful. So they have a kind of have been able to build a standard things in place when they know something is going to be successful or not, or if it's good or if it's bad. And we had a talk a few episodes back where we were trying to talk about metrics and why they were important. I think we talked about that.
I think we've at least skimmed over it.
Yeah, it was very light. We touched upon it. Yeah. So,
But that was Supercell. They, of course, again talked a lot of other things, but that was kind of maybe from us, the biggest learning. So next we had Cephas Howard. He's a director at Lego.
Yeah.
He's the innovation and design director, I think.
Yeah.
And he discussed a lot of things. He went basically through the whole history of Lego.
Yeah. Do you want to?
No, you can go.
I was. Well, why? If you remember, why was he brought on? If you remember that.
Because we wanted free Lego, but he didn't give us.
No,
any.
not in the convention, not in this. Why was he hired at Lego?
Because he sucks at bringing free stuff to the convention.
He
should be fired. We are very upset. I couldn't sleep for several days.
Björn was talking about that the whole time. There's a guy from Lego. He was so excited. We got to get free Lego. They got to give us free Lego. We got to get free Lego. We're going to get free Lego.
We didn't even get...
We got blue t-shirts. We're going to look like Smurfs. We're going to look like Smurfs. We're going to get blue shirts. So anyway,
we're gonna get it.
They don't even say Lego on the shirt. But actually, you know what's very interesting is notice that this is only branded with just this. There aren't other brands, and that's because it's only run by Supercell, so they can control the. You're not walking around like a big walking advertisement. So he was brought on because what was happening was that between a certain periods of time, I think it was over the past. Since the early 2000s?
Well, he said, and then actually, a lot of people don't know that in 1999, Lego was in big trouble. That it actually was it was really plummeting and doing really badly and in danger of even going bankrupt.
Yeah, and what happened was they went to, all the connections that they have, the big people, and they all said, oh, if you just follow all of these steps, be innovative and so on and so forth and crazy and go out and do all these things.
Like expand, do more, what's it called? What is that word when if you have just one product, you split into several? Diverse, yeah, your products, diversify and all these kind of things. Yeah.
So, but what happened was even they told the designers just do whatever you want, just make it amazing and different and whatever. So the designers just went crazy, and he said that designers had their biggest dreams come true, which is a nightmare. And what had happened was
Joe is saying everyone who promises free Lego and doesn't deliver should guilty for life in prison.
Exactly.
We need to start a free Lego hashtag.
Exactly.
Free the Lego.
Free your Lego.
Free your Lego.
Yes.
And then we need to get the attention of Lego about this heinous crime that has happened.
Exactly.
But you were saying.
So what happened was everybody was running around trying to do all these crazy innovative things, and actually it was bad. And he showed a description. No, he showed a picture of all these different Lego products, and he's said can you even tell that these are Lego products? You would not know. He was saying that he had a Lego toy that was for his daughter, and you wouldn't know outside of that box if it was a Lego product. And he said that what happened was that
this paper, it is Lego paper.
Yes.
My premium quality, you can see it has everything Lego stands for.
Exactly. So what happened was they kept failing. So when he got brought on board, he kind of took them back to their roots again, and he said that it was a construction blocks for 14-year-old boys, or I forgot what was the actual term he used, but
I think it was even younger kids, 5 to 14.
I don't know, but for young adult males, construction blocks. That's what it was.
Okay.
So he took the Lego back to that, and really made everything core to that, that original thing. And that's when they began to be successful again. And also what they did was they had a whole mess of products that they created, and they were able to bring it back and, kind of standardize things. And one thing that was interesting was he said that Lego designers should use at least 70% commonality, i.e. parts that are from other sets. So Lego sets.
No.
They're boxes with lots of Legos in them that might have, like, they follow some theme. The firehouse, or...
What is this theme you talk about?
Theme. My God. They have a certain setting.
Does that come from the themes, the river?
Themes? Yes.
No, I'm just
But anyway,
joking.
but they follow a certain setting, like, the city or the forest or, Ghostbusters or whatever. Marvel.
Forest, trees, rivers, Ghostbusters, everything in the same category.
Exactly. And everything in between Ghostbusters and that.
Ghostbusters rock.
Speaking of Ghostbusters, he said that he got two of the... What was their car? I forgot the name of the car. Anyway, you can't get it now, so...
Sucks to be you, and we didn't
There
even get
is
free
more
Lego.
removal and
Free
not
the
giving of
Lego.
Lego.
Free the Lego.
So-
Anyway. So like you were saying, there needs to be 70% commonality. So you reuse blocks. So it's easy to make, like let's say we start a, let's make a Björn Lego guy, and then you just invent every piece that's not
Brand
unique.
new. They
brand
have to
new.
make new ones.
Like mold, and then then every set will have nothing in common, and it kind of loses its strength. So
And also they have to, in manufacturing costs, because they have to create those
So
new molds.
I think before they started this Ecto 1, exactly. The
Ecto 1, exactly. Thank you.
Thank you for
Good job,
being
Corgi.
smarter than us. That's
Good job.
good.
That
So
shows that he's a mature man.
exactly.
Yes.
And we are kids.
Yes.
And
Oh, I can't do it.
no,
I must stroke a beard.
never. That costs money. 100 euros to touch the beard.
Per stroke.
It actually is not real beard. It comes off.
Anyway.
So, what was I gonna say? Something, the 70%.
Well, there's 70% commonality so that they can save on, there's people know that it's Lego. People know that when they see certain pieces, and also, well, it's manufacturing costs as well. They have less
don't
unique.
understand Finnish.
They have less unique pieces that they have to create.
We
I don't
under-
understand.
We don't understand Finnish either.
Yeah, I don't even know it either.
So I think they said they had 14,000 different pieces, and during those years they got it down to 6,500
yeah.
during 2006.
Yeah.
And then now 10 years later they only added 1,000 new pieces.
1,500. It was a little over 1,000.
Okay. Anyway,
You're wrong.
I'm not smart. I am not a corgi.
Yes.
So, but he also said,
The designers were competing with each other.
yeah, so there becomes also a big competition that if you get like 90% commonality, then that's like amazing.
You're like the designer god if you can create a Lego set with 90% pieces from other Lego sets.
Well, depending, of course, what you're doing, because there is the what's it called, the what was it? The Lego. I can't remember it. It's the Lego initiative where anybody can send in their sets. Those are basically 100%.
Yeah.
So they're gods, and Lego should buy to them.
By giving free Lego.
Yeah. This will just become a video of us begging for free Lego.
Okay, Lego, we have captured your invisible Lego man. We will remove his head unless you give us free Lego by tomorrow morning. Anyway.
Postscript or PS. We are not sponsored by Lego in any way.
Lego.
Except
Or
him.
Smurfs.
Or Smurfs, or Supercell, or anybody. Nobody's sponsoring us.
Yeah, but exactly.
This is not a sponsor message. This is just two crazy guys dancing to the...
two devs on the couch.
Oh, I thought we were two crazy Middle Eastern guys.
We're exciting European men going to disco clubs Anyway.
I don't know what this is. Who's
So-
gonna watch this?
I don't know. Anyway, for all the new viewers, we're just talking
All
about...
the new viewers, flee!
For all the
Go!
people that have
Go!
unfollowing us, you just see all the numbers going boop, 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 boop. Yeah. So anyway...
They'll count the amount of Lego works and sue you for that.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 million per Lego. Oh shit, that was 1 million.
Yeah. So basically, we're talking about this convention that we just went to.
This one,
Yeah.
right here.
Girlfriend 16 or Games First 2016, and we're just talking about the different speakers and the stuff we learned from them, in hopes that you guys also take away learning.
That you should request and not leave before you get free Lego.
Exactly.
Was there anything else?
One thing that was interesting. Yeah, he was just talking about strong branding, like board games have boards, card games have cards, Lego games should have Legos. And then one thing that was really interesting, and I had to quote it, I guess no one saw it, but it's up there. He says that 4 years of research tells you why girls' games are pink. Basically, when they were coming out with their kind of line of Legos for female audience, they had pink, pieces and stuff, and there was this huge uproar of, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm not saying that I'm for that. I'm just saying that was kind of how he was presenting it.
He also said that there is a reason why in the boys' technical sets there's always too many pieces and you don't know where to put them. What?
Go watch.
You didn't say that.
Okay,
No,
go
he
watch
didn't.
Eddie Murphy Delirious stand-up, and then you'll know what that's about. If you're old enough. If not, we didn't tell you anything.
Don't go look at that.
Yeah. So
He wears very tight spandex.
yeah, I know.
And he's not a woman.
But that was interesting. I'm not saying. Well, he says the research is there to prove it. So I don't know. Whatever.
I think it's changing though. That research. Well, I think they should do both. They should have sets that are pink and sets that are not pink.
For pink-liking individuals, and
There
not
are
pink.
sets that are unisex. I think, like those police stations and stuff like that. I feel like they're quite unisex. Like yeah, police station of course is more male, but
They
whatever.
should make it
like,
for colorblind people.
Yeah, black and white.
I don't know why people think that. They see other colors. Here's for you. A black and white only. No, I'm color blind. That doesn't mean I see only black and white. I see other colors. No. Black and white only for you. I bought 17 sets and I took the blacks and whites out of them.
Exactly. I think colorblind people are extremely racist. They only see black and white.
Lego free 16.
Exactly. GF16.
So, and then he talked about different innovation tips and things like that.
We're gonna skip to the next one because we didn't get free Lego.
Yeah.
Then we have Antti Ilves from Red Links.
Hey, but the learning from that before we...
No. No learning. We learned that it sucks to be Lego.
But keep your... don't think that by making, like, changing the core... like, for example, let's say Björn and I make certain games and we're really good at it. It doesn't mean that we have to suddenly release something totally different because we want to be innovative. You can even be innovative making the games that you are good at. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
So once we've launched our first game, you will only see sequels to that game.
Exactly. And it'll be called Arash and Björn
Game
Part 1,
number 1?
Number 2, number 3.
We should just call
Some
the
days
name.
we'll reverse it. It'll be Arash and Björn.
I just want to make a game that's named number 1, and then the next one's called number 2, number 3.
Exactly. So the next individual that was
Dungeon saying give them only black and white stones and tell them they have all colors. Maybe they'll feel better. Then.
Yes.
Exactly.
Lie to them, basically. Lie to your children. Oh, that's a lovely blue, son. When you know it's actually black. Yes. And then tell your child he was adopted and defective.
So now, Corgi, you're saying we're going to be EA and Ubisoft. And that's a good segue because the next guy, Antti Ilvessuo from Red Links, which is a studio that's owned by Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's a good.
They do, for example, Trials HD, I think.
Yeah, if you haven't played Trials, it's like a motorcycle rampy thingy. Look up Trials, like free trial. Look up Trials HD. And type in motorcycle.
I think it's quite
It's
popular.
cool. It's addictive, actually.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it's on Xbox, for example.
Even Xbox 360. Xbox 360 PC, and they have some stuff for mobile as well. Yeah. So Red Links, I think, is handling most of the mobile side.
Yeah.
But
so Antti Ilvessuo, he was really he's a character. We've seen him present before.
Go check out there's a 30-second clip. Twitter didn't let me put the whole thing there, but basically he came up on stage like he was a professional wrestler with the fireworks and everything. So basically he was kind of, a showman, I would say.
Yeah, he let's say everything else was just PowerPoint presentations. People just walk normally up to the stage. But then Antti, it's like you just see like a screen, and then there's a video camera feed there, and he's like entering, has like 4 bodyguards while he's walking up.
He kicks the door open.
Yeah, he kicks the door open, and then the announcer's like, Antti Ilvessuo, known for blah blah blah, and he walks up, he comes to the stage, and then these fireworks go off. We're on front row, like the first guys there, so we're like, all those fireworks are shooting into our eyes and other crevices.
And we're actually blind.
Yeah, we become color blind.
We had someone lead us here and sit us down, and we're faking this whole thing. We don't even know if there's a camera in front of us right now. They just said talk in this direction.
Exactly.
And somehow Björn is reading the chat.
I'm not reading the chat.
There's Braille. The chat is in Braille for us. Somehow in 1 week we learned Braille.
Exactly.
With our butts we're reading it. Butt Braille.
And so then it's funny because his English is typically Finnish.
Yeah,
which
rally
is
race car.
Like if you know Mika Häkkinen, he speaks like this. He does not know how to pronounce the words properly.
Yeah, so that's what he sounded like.
And then he's like, now for the presentation. And then he just goes to a PowerPoint, and it's like all this build up for him to just click like a remote and just switch a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
But
some people were very confused. And he bullied an American, so which I do think that they should be bullied more sometimes.
But so he said some very interesting things, but basically he was just saying that the gist of his entire presentation, I would say, is do something and put your heart and soul into it, and do it, 100%, do it right. Don't do anything less than 100%. That's basically what it is. A very long, drawn-out, long-winded way of saying, like, put in your all. If you're not doing it, like, don't willy-nilly around and waste time, and do the best quality. Always do the best.
Yeah.
So,
but
and if you do that,
story, he did do it really well, even if this point is very short.
Yeah.
But it's very hard for us to cover it. You need to see it. It's an experience.
Yeah. But
Danjo is saying VBE should be a horror game where John Cena follows you and uses air horns to scare you, but can't see him, of course. And when you feel safe, RKO out of nowhere.
Should make a horror game where John Cena follows you and uses air horns to scare you, but you can't see him. The one other thing. Oh yeah, and if you make games like that, they'll stand the test of time because you've put such.
You take the next.
You've put passion into the games that you made. What's up, Olivia Bint? Shout out to Olivia Bint. Actually, Olivia, I have a 9-year-old daughter, and her name is also Olivia. and I named her after Olivia Newton-John. Do you know who Olivia Newton-John is? She's a singer slash actress. And she's up there now. Well, actually, she's very beautiful still, I would say. She was famous, if you've ever seen the movie Grease. That's with John Travolta. She's the main actress in that. So, hello, if you're watching. Where were we? So anyway, when you do something, do it right, and you only get one chance. Basically, think of the Eminem 8 Mile song. That's basically what he's trying to say. But in a Finnish way, he said, good luck, you saw Halley's Comet, because next time you won't. That's the Finnish way of saying you only get one chance to do something, so don't miss out on your opportunity. Don't waste your time. Don't make excuses. If you're going to do it and do it right. That's what he had to say.
And hi, Ethan, also. And Danja is saying you don't internet a lot. No? What is internet? We don't know what internet is. Did you know what internet is?
What is das?
Yeah, what is das?
What is DOS? DOS is a disk operating system.
Was ist das? Das ist was.
Very good. Assassin's Creed movie has pre-order packages? Dude.
DLC for your movie.
You know, we have to have a...
Oh, let's take off our shirts. No,
yes,
that's
now
not that.
I'm removing my clothing, Ubisoft. You made me take it off.
Hi, Marshall.
What's up, hi, Mr. Sai?
Oh.
What's up, hi, Mr. Sai?
Hello, hi, Marsha.
Hey, this is your first time on the channel. I haven't seen you before, I think. If I have, I apologize that I forgot you. Basically...
So sorry, Mr. Sai.
Basically, two devs on a couch. Well, game dev company. We are two devs that talk about games and game development. Mondays, I do art or game art. Tuesdays,
we fool around on the couch.
We fool around. That sounds strange. We're on a couch talking about game development, and then we play your games that you send to us, and we can give you feedback. And then also we play other games and then break them down from a design perspective and developer perspective. Then Thursdays, Björn makes a game with you guys and then shares all of the code. So you can download it and make it
on the hubs of the Git.
On the GitHub, yes. Yeah.
And
so,
today we're covering Girlfriend 2016 or Games First 2016.
Exactly.
Your interpretation, which is event.
Great Friend.
Great Friend, yeah.
Good Fun.
Yeah. Gay. No, wait, no.
Yeah.
No.
Gotta Find.
Yeah.
Okay.
Google Finder. So it's an event that Supercell holds every year.
Yeah, so we're talking today about games.
So we're going
first.
through. We were there. There's like 600 people. It's invite only.
Yes, and sometimes they hack people's leaderboards and websites, but we didn't.
No, we don't. This is a myth. This is a myth. It has never happened.
It's in rumor.
No.
Don't watch the video that says hacking though.
We don't do the internets. We don't do. No.
So all we're doing is talking. Today we're talking about the convention we were just at, because last Tuesday's episode we weren't here. We were at the convention.
Oh, and
so we're sharing the learnings with you.
Hi, Mark says, you do review dev games? That's pretty cool. I might have to take you up on that. Exactly. So after this, actually, you can send in our games, and we're working on making a submission form. And you can submit, and we'll play your games, and we'll give you feedback from a point of view of a designer, game designer, And if you have like special wishes, what we should focus on, we can look at that.
And other people get to see your game as well.
Exactly. And the idea is not to
And you get to infect Björn's computer with viruses.
Exactly. I already have 100 of them.
Yeah.
The idea is not to necessarily review as much as give feedback and constructive feedback and positive feedback. And we're both developers, so we know, like, even if your game's not ready, it's okay.
We fill in all the blanks, so don't worry. If
just tell us, ignore that part where the whole game crashes, can you just look at this part? We are struggling with
Ignore the
this.
part where it's deleting all the files on your local hard drive.
Just look to the left.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks for dropping in. I feel sorry for all of the rest of our friends here, our Habibis. Ask around, they'll explain what that means. We go through this spiel so many times. Every time someone new, oh, there is someone new visiting us. Let's talk. Okay.
Welcome to the community.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, and how could you submit a game? You can send it how to us? In the email?
Right now, you just post it in the chat, but like I said, we'll make a thing here below where you just press a button and it has a form. You just upload the game and submit, fill in the blank.
And then we go from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we always do this on Tuesdays.
Yeah, and we would, if you try to get it to us before the following Tuesday, so if you submitted it today, we would try to, we get other submissions too, but we'll try to fit it in for the following Tuesday.
Exactly. But back to the topic. So that was Ante Ilvestor from Red Links.
Yeah, and then the next person
was Bodhi Jan Mulner for Cybo Games. His topic was building everlasting brand Subway Surfers Uncut.
So if you've heard of Subway Surfers, actually it's a huge game. They had tens of millions of players a day. He was saying some crazy thing. Like they literally get like 1 million players a day.
XA is fine.
But basically he was saying that really quick, we won't spend too long on it, but the gist of what he was saying, that users want to know about your character's backstory, make them perceive it if you don't have time to make it. So if we jump back earlier, Remedy with Quantum Break and Alan Wake and
Max Payne,
they were heavy narrative story-driven games.
Where they put like 5 to 7 years on building that narrative.
Exactly, a long time. And
with
then
like 100 people, 130.
Yeah. And then take a game, for example, like Dark Souls, where, there's an intro, there's an ending kind of thing, but you walk up to the shopkeeper and they're like, you want to buy this? And that's it. And you're trying to piece together the story. But there is actually a really deep story there, but they don't tell you it. You actually create it yourself. So what you're doing is you're perceiving depth of these characters. And there is a story behind them, but that's kind of what you want to create. So if you can make if you don't have time, make it feel like there's a deeper sense, to your characters. Ooh.
Yeah, I think actually why I also like pixel art is because a lot of people do 3D and then they do also very high res pixel art, and that's really awesome too when it's well done. And but it's actually nice to see some of the pixel art. It's a lot of indie companies, it's almost overdone these days, but at the same time it kind of leaves space so much for imagination that what that character exactly looks like is kind of up to you.
Yeah, it's really amazing when you have to draw your character's face and you only have 1 pixel.
Yeah.
So. And
then that's a challenge for the artist, but it's also very freeing for the user because you don't get caught up in that it needs to look so realistic. You can actually get more caught up in just your imagination. Just like with books, why a lot of people if you actually read books still, when you read a book and then see the movie.
Read,
neither do I, but that's what I'm saying.
Was that a requirement?
Yeah. You're fired. Trump has entered the building. Anyway, so like when you read a book and there's a movie, people who read the book say like, you imagine it totally different, or it was much richer in the book. It's I think also partially because of this reason that the book leaves more up for your imagination.
So
I think that was the last guy. Then there was just game demos.
There was coffee break number 2.
Well, we skipped coffee break number 1. I'm very disappointed.
Did we?
Yeah, we didn't mention coffee break.
Well, earlier there was one called Coffee
I'm
Break.
sorry, we missed coffee break number 1. It actually was one of the better coffee breaks.
Yeah.
I would say the coffee had a slight
Of all the coffees, that was a better one.
Yeah, it has like a slight like acidic aftertone to like this musty, rich
Camel poop flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the second one, that was okay. It's just regular black coffee.
And then after that, by the way...
Corgi reads books. You should teach us someday. Maybe you should do a stream about reading books.
Hi, Mr. Sai.
I'm
I'm not saying hi, Mr. Sai. Very good name. You trick me to say hi
It's
every
Hi
time.
Marseille.
Hi, Marseille. That's also good.
Hi Marseille. Hi Marseille.
Anyway.
Where are you from, by the way? Like, what country?
Yes. Don't say from your mom. Anyway.
Your mom. No, that's what I was supposed to. No, you were talking to Harvard.
But he said, do you want APK or EXE?
Yeah, I answered it already.
Oh, you did?
EXE. You were blabbering around. I was like, EXE.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. We're probably gonna do just Windows games for now, but in the future we can do like iPhone, Android, and stuff. But that just requires a bit more setup.
Yeah. So.
But we do have controllers, depending if your game requires it, so we can attach controllers.
You're from Texas.
Texas.
All your exes are from Texas. Live in Texas.
Oh, SI.
SI, and it's
in
hi,
Finnish.
Mr. Hi, Mr. Sai. I was correct.
No. In Finnish, actually, we have a name that's Esa without the I in the end. It's very typical.
Or when someone asked Raphael, what is that weapon you have in your hand? And he was pretending to be a French turtle. He said, Esai. Okay. Now, game demos 1. Basically, this was a pitching... It's okay. Let's move forward. We had game demos, but basically what it was actually a pitching... It wasn't a competition because there wasn't like a winning-losing thing. It's just many different people, bigger, small company.
Let's highlight the better ones. Like there was one really cool one. I think we both agree. It was like a game where there's like a corgi, that's it's skateboarding, and then you tap and it like does a trick and you're like skateboarding forward. Do you have a picture of it? That was really cool. I want to play that game.
Hold on.
Can you find it?
But he made it by himself in 3 months. He came on stage. He's like, hi, I never programmed or code or do anything.
I don't do art. I barely know what a computer is. Here I made this game in 3 months. It has procedurally generated corgis and skateboards. Enjoy.
I only have one picture.
Oh, hello, Zad Buzuki. Welcome back.
What's up, dude? It says
I want to go to Texas. Oh, sorry.
Corgi, you got a game.
Corgi, we made a game for you. Well, we didn't make it.
Move it back. It's having problems focusing.
It's fine. Pro Skater. Corgi Pro Skater. So when this is out, go buy it. It's awesome.
It's free to play.
You can, and there's other dogs than corgis also, if you're not a corgi super fan
Unless
like
you
us.
don't want to skate yourself.
If you don't want to be awesome, like Robaz or Corgi, the lesser dog.
The King of Sweden? Do you guys know?
Have you met the King of Sweden?
Robaz.
Yeah.
Check him out. Yes, you skateboard. That's it.
Yeah, you're a pro skater, Corgi. But
Afterwards,
yeah, that was it. But afterwards, we networked, we talked to people, we met some old friends, some new friends. Played some arcade games. And had some candy.
Oh yeah, they had these huge rows of candy, like when you go into candy store with the shovels.
Yep, like shovels, and you were just shoveling. But this year they had like the small plastic bags. I was like last year, just like, yeah, shovel, and took like some home.
At the end of the night, it's like beep beep, like there's trucks. We were dumping all the candy. I took like 3 small bags home. What are you doing with it? Landing a plane.
I'm guiding in the truck.
Oh, okay.
It's like this.
I got
You did
it.
it like this.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you didn't get it.
YMCA.
Well, I don't know if I said before, but I had a game artist to help me publish my game. He had to bail because he works 2 jobs and school and somehow can't sleep. My other artist I hired said life is being hard on him right now, so he bailed too. So I'm looking for an artist I can commission the background to. Cool. Well, if anybody's an artist looking for work, talk to Zad.
Zad Bazooki needs artists.
Zad Artist Bazooki. We could post. Do you have a web page? Post it, and we can submit.
Do you have a Twitter we can share as well?
Yeah, we know some artists that do freelance stuff, and we can put it in Facebook. We have some groups. We can see if someone's interesting, but you need
hey,
specifics.
I will tell you right now, Habibi, that costs money too. Some of them are not, unless you find like some people that are willing to work.
Yeah,
you know.
of course they would probably.
Yeah, because most of the people
But
that we know are like super pros. So
super pro, not like us.
yes, we are
Not like super pro skater Kogi.
exactly.
We know Kogi here.
So that's one thing. If not, let's say you're just looking for someone else.
Thanks, Sad. We'll follow you and
Yeah.
add you.
We'll say something right after the stream. I have $30, $10 per background. I am willing to pay. Okay, so his budget is $30.
Do Fiverr.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah? I don't know if
What
they
do
do
you?
game art.
It depends on what art you need.
Holy shit! Who's these ugly guys? Oh, it's us.
Um.
Let me see if that's Fiverr.
Hey, one other thing you can do is if you can find a local IGDA or you can find Facebook groups. That's another one. You can go to Fiverr, but it depends really what you need. Did you say you just need 3 backgrounds?
$30
So-
make you holla.
So go to Fiverr, Fiverr. Let's check.
Video game art. That's very old school. Make sound effects for your video game. Yep. Create custom music for your video game. Do voice act for your video game or cartoon. Write a professional video game article up to 350 words.
Look up illustrators instead.
Turn your article text into video with voiceover.
Would you search for illustration?
No, this is much more interesting. Create video game sound effects. Right?
Illustration.
I searched video game art, which is there.
No, just do illustration.
Why would that have anything to do with the game?
What did you find?
Do illustration for children's books.
Do you want children's art style?
But yeah.
But you can go check there. You can also look on some forums.
Or you can follow a Monday and learn it and pay $30 to yourself and buy a couple of pencils and then...
I can try to give you some advice, but I can't do the work.
Okay, thanks. I whispered
Cool.
Yeah. Cool, thanks. We received it. We'll look it up. We don't have our computer in hand's reach right
The theme is power gems, and I need backgrounds that contrast with the color of foreground, which is the platforms you jump on. Well, I need backgrounds that contrast with yellow, red, and purple. Do you have any backgrounds already? Because sometimes you can just retint them. But let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe you can share one of the backgrounds so we can see the style.
Well, he has it there as a whisper.
Oh, he does. Can we see it somehow?
Yeah, but let's do it when we get to the computer.
Let's look later. Okay, we'll keep it in mind. Don't worry. We'll hopefully.
We'll worry for you.
Yes.
But yeah, so games first. Then we talked to a lot of people. That's probably the nicest part. Well, meeting, networking, and it was like all night until 12 o'clock.
So why are we even talking about this? We were saying earlier. It's if within where you live, if you can afford it, if there's ever a convention that you can go to, you should try just for these types of benefits. Learning, networking, sharing. Of course, if you can go to the big events, they cost a lot of money. But if you can go to them, we're talking like
Yeah.
GDC and
But
PAX and, but if you can't, for example, this one was free. So you just keep on the lookout for, there might be small gatherings even that are free that you don't have to pay for. So just when we say this, it doesn't mean you have to spend money, but it's really important that you go out into the world and talk with other people.
Yeah. And I think it's actually usually better in the beginning if you're just starting out to go to these smaller events, because you have easier time to go and talk to people because it's not jam-packed full.
Yeah.
And there's not like guys dressed as soldiers from Halo and women and blue smurfs trying to molest you all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're more real developers usually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this wraps up, I think,
yeah.
this portion.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and follow if you haven't. And we will still continue. We'll now go into actually testing your games.
Yeah. So I think the game we're testing
Sumo
now
Ball.
is called Sumo Ball, and it was
Sumo Ball.
COM 350s?
Yeah, COM 530s.
530, sorry, COM. But
5310s.
yes. But COM might not be around because he said I'll be back in 2 hours.
Well,
So we're just going to play your game, COM. You won't be around. Oh, I said game, COM. That's also a convention thing you can go to. It's Gamescom, actually. But but let's just, we're going to, now don't go anywhere. There's still more to see. We're just going to quickly set up this area. We'll play that first. And then after that, we're going to play and analyze a game called Sports and Friends. It's not like sports like football. It's a little bit different. But yeah, so let us just move this camera to a different location. 2 seconds, and then we'll move forward.
yeah, and Corgi, just send a link. Or if you don't want to share it with everybody, we'll have a submission type of thing set up. Probably I will try to get it done this weekend even. So you can start sending stuff in the heaps.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, Zad.
So now we go to the section where Arash
Does
the entertaining and answers your questions while I run around like a mad chicken. Should we show the thing we did, or I did, the sign that's in pieces?
No.
We'll reveal that later.
Yes.
It is a full 1-to-1 scale naked model of Arash.
Yes.
Hand painted.
And we glued my hair on there too.
Your real hair, that's why we had to shave you.
Yeah. Exactly.
We didn't afford fake hair, so we had to shave him all the hair here, all the hair here.
Yeah.
Now he has long hair. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mute my microphone and shout. If you hear a lot of movement and stuff, that's me moving around.
Yeah.
And thanks, Corgi, for the game.
So Zad, right now, let's be careful.
Just,
I can use this
No. You lift your legs.
Hala.
Come on, Habibi. Come on. Go into the corner. I need more space.
Where do I go?
Go into the corner. Go. Lean back. Okay, that's good.
Nice. So, Zad, what I was trying to tell you earlier was there you go. What I was trying to tell you earlier was that oh, don't break it, Habibi. Was that crap? What was I trying to tell you?
Something about art.
Yeah, if your game is far enough along and you can show it to people, you can continue like working on it outside of just the art and sound and things like that. If it's that far along, people will be able to see past these other things. So don't get too caught up if you don't have the art and music right now. The most important thing for you is that it's just fun to play. Okay, so you need backgrounds with crystals. Let me see, Habibi. Maybe I can find a way to help you. Is that basically the art style of your game, right? Zad, speak to me, man. Speak to me. If that's basically the art style of the game, I might be able to help you. So on Mondays I have the art.
Let's make it the art.
Let's make it the art. So if that's the style, I don't think it'll take me that long to make quickly a level. Does your level, is that scrolling or is that just one screen? Because if it's just one screen and it's not scroll, well, you can make it scroll too. If that's basically the whole thing, I can quickly try to help you make something. No promises yet. I have to think about it because we have other stuff I have to do as well. But let's see. If not, like I said, don't get too caught up right now. Just try to make the game fun. When the people enjoy the game, they're going to like see past all the rest of it. It's you, like for example, Super Mario Brothers, creating all the different levels, that happened much later on. In the beginning, it's just okay, it's a repeatable scrolling background. Super Mario Brothers, all those other levels were made later. Right now, what is important is just the, jumping around on the screen, everything works. So when people play it, they enjoy that portion. Because let's say that, let's say that people play the game and there's problems with it, and then you went and did all this art, and then you're like, oh crap, man, I made all this art. It's wrong and this, and now I need to change everything. So you're going back and changing all of it. So it's actually, there's an excellent article, Zad, that I believe I put it on Twitter. Let me see here really quick. Let's see, where did I share that? Arcades. Yes. Yeah. So on 2 days ago, if you go on Twitter, Game Dev Company, there is a article that says it's Heartbeast. If you guys know Heartbeast, he is basically really big in Game Maker. And hopefully we'll be interviewing him in a few months, so you all get to see him as well. But he posted this article that he said, really interesting article on creating feature-based iterations for your game. I really, really, really recommend that instead of worrying about the art just yet, read that whole article through and see how much of it are you following, because that's basically how Björn and I are doing development as well, and that's how really good companies and like small indie groups are doing it. Everything else is done and it works. Yeah, the version on the market right now is all right, but has all these bugs which I fixed in the new version. That's fine. But check out that article anyway and tell me what you think about it. Which one is this? Okay, so let's move on to playing sumo ball.
You want to sit on the sofa?
Yeah, I can sit there. I just scoot over. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I can move forward a little. We just move the, or you can't move the camera because
No, I can move the camera.
because Habibi.
Give me a moment. Let me set up my camera first. My own filler right.
But read that article anyway. And to everybody else, definitely check out that article. I think it's a good article. Basically, it's talking about creating a vertical slice of a game. So you're just making one little taste of it. And it feels very, very polished. Maybe that's what you're doing. I mean, I see a background already.
You will need the keyboard for this game.
Oh, I will. Okay, I just gotta move. I don't.
Move forward. See where you can move to this keyboard.
Here we go.
There we go. You can reach it. We can move it once we play the next game. So,
Okay, you said you've done that. Reading the article now, I understand what it means about a process of assembling games so far. Got a lot of good advice from Extra Credits. Oh, that's an excellent YouTube channel. Thanks for bringing that up. I think we mentioned it in the past, but if not, well, we'll say it again that Extra Credits is a really, really, really great YouTube channel. If you guys aren't following them, subscribing to them, you should definitely do that because there's great learning there. I actually use some of it even in my game design classes for teaching. Yeah, I apologize if I'm not trying to tell anybody that they know or don't know, but I always have to speak with kind of in a way that it's the lowest common denominator, so I just have to assume. Oh, that's scary.
no worries. I got it. There we
Okay,
go.
Habibi. Don't worry, Habibi.
Let's make this closer.
Yeah, do this.